I just want to rise and say a few general words about this bill. And that is that if we were to name this bill, I think we might want to name it the Progressive Conservative Carbon Tax Bill. And here's why. Here's why. Because this, as I have said on the floor of this House before, is the delivery of half of the homework. Yeah. And the full homework was to put a price on carbon for the province. And this puts a price on about half of the carbon in our province, and as a result, forces the federal government's hand into implementing a carbon tax. And so I want to be very clear that as we move through these amendments and as we move through third reading and as this bill eventually passes, that this bill, in absence of any other effort to price carbon, forces the federal government to implement a carbon tax in Nova Scotia. And I think it's very, very, very important to keep the record clear on that, because, number one, this bill will pass. Why? There is a majority government in this House. So what does a majority government get to do? They get to govern. They get to make decisions, and it actually doesn't really matter much what we say. And so we have been facing endless, absurd, in my opinion, criticisms around what efforts, what feelings we may or may not have. We're going to become the NDP, NSGEU strike party because apparently we're striking workers. We don't hear that about anything else, but this carbon tax, which is one of the many things in the purview of the government, is up to them to solve. And they have been given clear instructions. Price carbon yourself or we will price it for you. Yes. And this bill is evidence that they have not priced carbon themselves. They have priced 40% of our carbon. The other 60% will come from the federal government. And so I would again like to say for the record that if this bill had a name, it would be the PC carbon tax bill. Thank you.